The wind from the Atlantic carries a salty breath across the shores of Loango, in present-day Republic of Congo. The sand here remembers. Even when the tide erases them, the footprints return, invisible to the eye, yet heavy in the memory of this coast. In the late 17th to 19th centuries, this very beach became one of the largest points of human departure from Central Africa. From here, men, women, and children were marched from inland villages, bound, branded, and stripped of names, to the waiting slave ships that would carry them across the Middle Passage to the Americas. The journey began far from the coast. Captives were taken in raids or sold through complex trade networks involving local chiefs, African middlemen, and European traders. They were forced to walk for weeks along narrow paths through forests and savannas. By the time they reached Loango Bay, the final stretch of the journey, from the holding camps to the water, became what historians now call the Loango slave route. Here the captives were marched in silence along the sand, their bare feet pressing into the grains that still feel their weight today. Some accounts say they were made to walk around a sacred tree as part of a ritual to sever their ties to their homeland and ancestors. The footprints they left were not just physical, they were spiritual fractures, marking the line between life as they knew it and the unknown suffering ahead. The ships that waited in the harbor carried thousands to sugar plantations in Brazil, the Caribbean, and beyond. Many would never survive the voyage. For those who did, their descendants would carry pieces of Loango in their blood, fragments of songs, words, and rhythms that endured even in exile. Today, the Loango slave route stands as a site of memory. Walking here is like walking alongside shadows. Each step on the sand is a symbolic connection to those whose feet once pressed here in chains. The footprints in the sand, whether made by tourists, descendants, or the tide itself, serve as a silent act of remembrance. A reminder that history is not only written in books, but also imprinted on the earth. The significance of the Loango slave route lies in its power to tell the story without words, to make visitors feel the weight of a history that reshaped continents, scattered cultures, and yet left behind enduring legacies.